When you see a head and shoulders pattern forming in bearish institutional order flow, all right, there's a good chance that head and shoulders pattern is being set up to fail, with the low or the head being the target.
Going for 1% a day, right? Going for 1% a day. To some, that seems very, very conservative, but it's actually aggressive. And with the power of compounding, the amount of money that you'll be making once you find consistency in your risk management, in your trading, and you grow your accounts, you compound your accounts, the money is going to come in due time. Learn the strategy, take your focus off of the money, put your focus on consistency, get this strategy down, and the money is going to come.
Because from us in the Western civilization, we don't get to see that. Because most of us grew up in the city. All we know is loud cars, loud music, loud guns, drugs everywhere, violence, cracked windows. We know city life. So to do a total 180 and to live on a country life, I guess you could say country life or African life, it's a total culture shock. It's a total culture shock, and it's almost very therapeutic and very healing.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Check me out, y'all.
Delante Brady says he's appreciated the value of a dollar his whole life.
Before I was even old enough to work, I was shoveling snow and raking leaves, so I've always understood the importance of having money.
Now he's making his cash another way. Now sharing what he's learned with others by hosting courses on investment strategies.
remember the first time I seen this, I thought it was a forest fire happening. It was like 12 o'clock. All right, welcome to Markup Mondays. We are doing this at a new time. It's the first time at Markup Mondays has been so late at 11 p.m. Really grateful for everybody that's on the call right now. Go ahead and let me know where you calling in from. If you're tuning in live, go ahead and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching a recording, go ahead and still let me know that you're here. I'll respond to the comments later. So just a quick update before we get into the call. So there's going to be a few changes outside of the time. We're also going to be broadcasting from a different YouTube now. All right. So some of you are watching this broadcast from Bold People Get Rich. And after today, next Monday, the next call will be on the Sniper Anonymous channel. All right. That's SNIP3R Anonymous. All right, it's a different YouTube channel. It's focused on trading, and that's where we're going to be broadcasting from now on. Welcome to the call, Joe. Welcome, Tisha, Kansas in the building. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Christine, welcome. Portland. If you're just now coming in, like I said, this is going to be the last Monday that we're going to be broadcasting from our YouTube page, Bold People Get Rich. From now on, we're going to be broadcasting from the YouTube page, Sniper Anonymous. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to that page so you don't miss any updates and so you don't miss the next Markup Mondays. We'll also be broadcasting from my Facebook, which is Delante Brady. But other than that, we're going to be doing this every Monday at 11 p.m. I hope this is a time that works out better for everyone. It certainly works out better for me, especially being over here in East Africa, Tanzania. Currently, it is 6:08 in the morning right now. So, my day is getting started. You guys' days are probably about to end for most of you. But with this call, it's going to get you ready for the upcoming week. A lot of these trades happen overnight and are pending orders. But let's go ahead and get into the call. What's going on, Khalil? Portland, Oregon in the building. Now you can catch the call at a reasonable time, right? What time is it where you at, bro? It's about, 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock now? All right. So let's go ahead and go over last week's analysis. And if everybody can hear me clear, can somebody just drop a 1? Go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. There's no breakage in the footage, no breakage in the broadcast. Everything is smooth. Everything is good. Before we continue. All right. Let's get to it. So last week, and then for the buy area, it would have to come out of this consolidation and come down to this area for the buy. All right, so last week called out a buy area that was resting below some consolidation that we identified on EU. It was a sniper entry. It took off for over 100 pips, and eventually it did come back down. And now we're going to get into, what's going on this week, because each setup is a unique setup. Just because it bought from that point didn't mean it was going to continue buying. Remember that with this strategy, we focus on reactions. All right. This strategy, we focus on reactions. So let's go ahead and get into let's get into the news for the upcoming week. And then we'll get into analyzing any pairs. If it's anything that you would like me to analyze,
go ahead and drop that in the chats. And if we have time, we'll get around to it, which tonight I'm pretty sure we'll have plenty of time to get around to the pairs. All right, so give me a second while I bring this up. All right, so anybody who is a student of mine and is a student of the game, really, of foreign exchange, then you know that. Sorry, let me bring this up. You know that foreign exchange news is really filtered and is really specific for the foreign exchange market, and that information can be found on myfxbook.com or my Forex Factory. All right, whatever you decide to use. I use my FX book, and I focus on the red folders. There are orange folders and yellow folders, but those are news releases that aren't as volatile, or they're not going to move the market as much as a red folder. Okay, so to cancel out all of the noise and any, the unnecessary information for me, I filtered my news releases to red folders. And for the upcoming week, for the United States dollar, on Tuesday already, we have housing and building permits. All right, those are red folder news, and red folder news releases, and that's going to be at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Wednesday, we have some red folder news with existing home sales for the United States dollar on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we have jobless claims. All right, jobless claims, and then you got Powell speaking. All right, Powell is the chairman for the Federal Reserve. Anytime he talks, there's a possibility that the market could become volatile. That's going to be at 11 a.m. or I'm sorry, 11 a.m. on Thursday. All right, this Thursday at 11 a.m. We're usually out of the markets by then anyway, but just be aware that Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. All right, and then on Friday, we have some red folder news for EU and GBP. All right, so it's going to be a volatile Friday. And that wraps it up for this Friday. Really nothing major. The most major news that is going to happen in the foreign exchange market is going to be revolving around interest rates, and then the unexpected, like war. All right, things like war, unexpected news, things happening, major world events, things that we can't predict. All right, but interest rates, news releases, and non-farm payroll, NFP, which is every first Friday of every month. Those are the two most important news releases that happen period, like they happen like clockwork. All right, every month in that we have NFP, and then every few months we have interest rate news releases. All right, and interest rates drive the market, drive the foreign exchange market. It drives direction, it drives price. It's very important. For my students, you guys know that I preach how a lot of these news releases are excuses for the market makers to move price to certain areas, right? We know this, but with the interest rates, these really do make a difference in the long-term direction of a foreign exchange pair. All right. So with the United States dollar, which we'll start with the dollar. When it comes to interest rates for the upcoming year, there is a plan. There's actually a plan for the upcoming year for interest rates that the Federal Reserve has in place. And so what they want to do is they want to hike interest rates, and they plan on going on really a record campaign as far as how much they're going to increase interest rates over the next few months, or for the duration of 2022. That's going to be similar to something that they did in the past, right? And with them raising interest rates, what this is going to do is provide a stronger dollar. All right, so I am bullish on the dollar. I believe that we're going to reach new highs. I believe this high is going to get cleared. This is liquidity that was created back in, the high of January of 2017 and the high of March 2020. We have some liquidity from the higher time frame resting above this area. All right. So I believe in the next, probably next 3 months, next 3-4 months, we'll reach up for these highs. Would like to see a pullback. I have an area that I would like to see the dollar pull back to. And so any bearishness that we see within the dollar, still going to be bullish on it and going to be looking at it as a pullback. If there's any bearishness that happens, it's going to be looked at as a pullback. And so with the stronger dollar, what does this mean for other pairs, guys? Who's been paying attention? Who's been paying attention? What does this mean for UCAD, United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar? Right? What does this mean? If we're going to have a bullish dollar, if more than likely we're going to have a bullish dollar for the rest of 2022, what does this mean for UCAD? What does this mean for Euro USD, EU? Right? Does it mean it's going to go up, or does it mean it's going to go down? Is UCAD going to go up if the dollar goes up, or is it going to go down if the dollar goes up? Is EU going to go up if the dollar goes up, or is EU going to go down if the dollar goes up? Right? So remember, when it comes to pairs, the first quote in the pair determines the direction. Right? The first quote in the pair determines the direction. Meaning, if we're trading EU, the first quote is the euro dollar. All right, the first quote in this pair is the euro dollar. So if the dollar is strong, that means that EU should be going down. All right, with UCAD, the United States dollar is the first quote. So UCAD should be experiencing strength. So let's go ahead and get into the analysis for EU. We can go ahead and we'll start on the monthly. We got a nice blank chart. Let's make sense of everything. Let's go ahead and look at our monthly lows since we're approaching monthly lows. A very significant swing low on the monthly is right here. All right, and what do we know about higher time frame support and resistance? We know that there's going to be a stronger reaction from the higher time frame, from lows and highs. All right. So this is a major low right here because it's the bottom of a swing low. But we also have another monthly low here. So we've blown through this low here, this monthly low, and we're currently approaching the monthly low of 2020, which in April. All right. So let's go ahead and drop down to a smaller time frame. And what do we see right here? What is this? What this area? What's going on right here? Does anybody recognize anything significant about this area right here? You go ahead. This area here. What is significant about this? Come on, guys. I know y'all. I know y'all been paying attention. What's going on here? Got to be able to recognize this. It's consolidation, right? Even on the weekly, the same thing that pairs do on the smaller time frame, they do on the larger time frames. It's called fractal, right? This is a fractal. So we have consolidation on the higher time frame. And what do we know about pairs, especially EU? When we come down into previous consolidation zones, it tends to consolidate, all right, or display characteristics of consolidation. And so with this being a higher time frame, what do we expect to happen when the bottom of a consolidation is reached? If we reach the bottom of this consolidation, what could we expect to happen? Yep, Joe, you got it. Christine, you got it. Christine said consolidation. Yep. Joe said consolidation. Exactly. Right. And what would we expect to happen? We would expect a bounce. All right. We would expect a bounce. So I'm going to be looking for a buy area down here, preferably below the low, because I like to see lows get taken out before, I get in for buys. I don't like to buy exactly at a low. You want to see the low get taken out. So here we have the bottom of the consolidation. We have a low right here. And we have some candle closes. We have some candle closes, and then we have a low. All right, so let's go ahead and keep dropping down to the lower time frame. We have a buy zone. Let's go ahead and see what's the range of this buy zone. What are we working with? All right, so that is a range of 40 pips. All right, so I have a 40 pip range of, where I can enter for a buy. Now let's also look at what's going on with market structure. What do we call this here? Bearish market or bearish institutional order flow. All right, this is bearish institutional order flow. We are creating lower highs and lower lows. And so the last major low that was violated is here. And so now we get into our hypothetical areas of where EU could land now with this extension, right? Because we've extended beyond the low. And so what's the next extension area? 127, right? See how we pull the fib from the low to the high. We get the extension beyond the low. And the hypothetical area is right here at this 127, which is the bottom of the consolidation below that low that we identified over to the left. And it's also an institutional level. All right. So let's go ahead and mark that up because maybe that'll be our target. All right. We got a 40 pip range, but now we can get a little more specific with where we'll enter. And anybody that's on this call, this is for demo purposes. All right. This is not for trading live money. We do not promise profits. Past results do not guarantee future profits. Right. There's no guarantee in trading. There is risk involved. And if you do decide to trade with your own money, you are doing so at your own risk. All right. So we got a couple confirmations here. We got a big figure institutional level. We have the 127 extension of the fib. And so this is looking like a good buy area. All right. So I would like to buy from in between the levels of 1.07,000 and let's say 1.07250. So a range is now we've adjusted that range down to 25 pips. All right, very specific buy area now. All right, now we could possibly find some sales tonight. Let's see if it's anything clear. I really like this area here. And if this is an extension, right, we had a pullback and we had an extension below the last low. That's what we have to pull back. All right, so we extended down and then we had a rejection and it pulled back to about the 38%. So that was a very shallow retracement. There is a possibility we could come back up into this area. We still have the 50% that could get hit. And then we also have the 1.8 that could get hit. If we do come up this way, let's go ahead and drop down to lower time frame. right, so they're not clean, but we still have some highs here sitting right below some imbalance. Right, and when I see highs like that resting below imbalance or lows resting above imbalance, that becomes a target. All right, so we have two sell areas. The first area is the purple area, mitigation zone, and then the second area is actually the golden pocket of the fib. All right, which happens to be in an area that looks attractive for a sale. All right, so let me go ahead and clean this up. Boom. Second sell zone. This purple area will be the first sell zone. And the first buy zone. All right, so that is it. This is what I have for EU. We have a buy area where we're expecting it to at least react from. And remember, we're focusing on reactions. Just because I believe it's going to buy from here and that this is a consolidation zone doesn't mean that I believe this is going to happen, right? Possibly could, but what I'm looking for is a reaction. Same thing with the sell zones. I'm looking for a possible reaction here and a possible reaction here. On the sales, my stop loss is going to be above the last high, which would be here. All right. And then we also have more sell zones up here. But if this happens, if we do break above this high, then we'll decide, because at that point we would be approaching the top of the consolidation. But we've also broken a major high, so there could be buying opportunities. But this is it for EU. I'll post this after the call. Let's go ahead and get into what you guys want to do. So we got NAS and US 30. All right, is that it? Is there anything that anybody else wants me to go over? So let's go ahead and go to NAS. How's everybody been doing? Trading, learning. How's your journey going so far? Right. Yeah, I don't even have NAS or US 30 on my watch list. Okay, so the NASDAQ concerning the United States stock market. Let's get into it. And sorry y'all for the I'm gonna be a little slow on the markup. The battery in my mouse literally just died. Died at the perfect time. Everything all right? All right, so earlier I asked how's everybody doing with their trading journey, education. All right. Jesus loves you said everything is all right.
Khalil said, been doing well, can't complain. Glad to hear, bro. Christine is feeling more confident, starting to understand more. Good, good. Dory, learning right now, soaking it all in. Good, good. Welcome, 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 Dory. Glad to have you. I'm looking forward to working with you at the more advanced levels. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this analysis. So NAS 100. All right, it looks like, let me pull my arrow out. All right, so I called, so this is a perfect example to talk about how not having a mouse can really hinder your performance in the market. Look at this. I can't even focus on my analysis because I'm trying to get the mouse together or the pad. I don't know how some of y'all do that, marking up with y'all with the pad on your laptop. But I call it bearishness here. Once this happened, we broke this major low right here. We had a pullback and then we broke another low, right? And so what this is right here, when you see this happen, for people who are just like starting out in the market, you haven't been watching the market for a long time, this looks like bullishness. This looks like a signal to buy. All right. And this is how a lot of people get caught up in chasing the market. This is bait for people who chase the market. All right. So we started breaking down, breaking structure, and then we ran up. So everybody who was selling, anybody who was selling, where are their stop losses resting? Above the highs. And so what do the market makers do? They want to clean the board. They want to have as least people on the right side of the trade as possible. And so they run the chart up. They run price up. They hit all the stop losses. They take liquidity. All right. Still some people that's in up here, but these people got taken out, and now the market is starting to turn back around. And so I believe that the target for this week is here. I believe the target is here. Even though we came up and it looks like we created equal highs here. All right, we do have some liquidity. I would only start paying attention to this here if we come back close to the area. All right, meaning so if price starts to creep up and then we come and we're at this area or this candle right here, then it becomes, I start to pay attention to this area as a target for a sell because I'm still bearish on NAS. I still believe it's going to continue selling off. So if we come back up to this area, I would be expecting a sweep. But if we don't, I'm expecting NAS to go ahead and violate this inverted head and shoulders that is created, right? We got our left shoulder, we got our head, and we got a right shoulder that's possibly forming. Guess who's looking at that? Retail traders. Retail traders are looking at the inverted head and shoulders. They're going to be buying it, which is going to provide a lot of liquidity. There's a lot of liquidity resting below this low here. And so that's what I have for an overall direction. As far as where you could sell from, let's see, we on the daily. Just created a swing low. And so if I'm assuming that this is going to continue down, pull my fib from the high to what is the presumable low. And so we have the 50% and the 618. And so I'm targeting that area on the fib. Would definitely love to see this imbalance get filled and these highs get taken out here. All right, this is on the 4 hour. Oh yeah, I'll be expecting a reaction from here. And this is on the 4 hour. We haven't even dropped down to the 1 hour and 15 minute. All right, so I will be expecting a reaction from this area right above the highs. And then maybe we come back up into this zone here. All right, so first sell zone. And we have our second sell zone. Go ahead and drop down to a lower time frame. Okay, now that we've dropped down to a lower time frame, I really like this area here. I really like the highs here. I like the highs here too, but I would rather go for the 50%, the one that's closer to the 50% range, right? So this is the 50% of the fib, and then this is the 618. So this is the sell that I would go for. We got a first sell zone here, but I like the second sell zone better. Now, are there opportunities to buy NAS right now? Of course, there's opportunities to buy, there's opportunities to sell, but I would only go with the sales because I'm bearish on the U.S. stock market. As of now, like what price is currently doing is definitely buying. Definitely buying right now. If I was to say where a pullback would happen, and this is just hypothetical. All right, just for practice, we'll come back and look at it and see what happened. But I see NAS possibly dropping down into this within the next hour, maybe, and buying from this point. And I will be targeting the imbalance. Expecting a reaction from here. Now notice how I marked this up on the 15-minute. And so everything, because it's on the 15-minute, everything is closer. Everything is going to be shorter. I'm expecting a shorter move. If I'm looking at a buy, I'm not expecting that move to play out as much or move as much or as far as I would expect a move on the daily, right? All right, but that's what I have for NAS 100. I'm not sure who I marked that up for, but is that in alignment with what you have? Is that in alignment with what you have marked up for NAS? All right, Dory Learning, T-shirt, great. All right, AU, cool, we'll go over AU. I'm gonna check out US 30 real quick too. I'm pretty sure it's looking the same as NAS. Khalil said, crazy thing is I've been looking for buys up to that first sell zone because of the head and shoulders. So Khalil, do you mean on the on NAS 100, the head and shoulders on NAS 100? Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, a shoulder probably is forming. I just, with my philosophy on how the market makers move the market, I would rather wait on the sell. You know what I mean? And that's just the way that I trade. I believe the higher probable trade setup is going to be the sell, and so I will wait on it. But that's all opinionative, and it depends on how you trade. Because for me, if I was trading NAS, I would be waiting. I probably wouldn't trade tonight because it's going to take some time for it to come up to that sell zone, if it even goes up to that sell zone, because nothing is guaranteed. All right, now let's go ahead and look at US 30 real quick. Hey, to everybody who be marking up charts with the pad on their laptop, how do you do it? How do you do it? All right, US 30, same thing, except everything is like a little bit more closer, and US 30 is looking more bearish right now than NAS. NAS looks like it's about to buy up. US 30 to me looks like it's about to sell off. Looking at this wick right here from this candle, ran up, took out some previous day's highs, and then brought the market back down. Now we got this little candle forming right here. Actually, the way US 30 is looking right now, it looks like it could go either way. It looks like it could go up or down. Yeah, even on the daily. All right, so y'all see how that just happened? There is actually a learning moment in that, or a learning experience in that moment right there. So how I said US 30 looks like it could go up or it could go down. If I ever say that or I ever feel like that, then my next solution is I have to wait on more information. That's it. With US 30, I have to wait on more information. The way that it's looking, I'm bearish on it, but I really don't even see any targets from the daily because it looks like it could go up or go down. I would have to wait. Yeah, and with good reason. I mean, we're in the consolidation zone here. Trust your intuition. Your intuition already knows, especially if you've been trading for a while. You got previous experience. Listen to your intuition. All right, we got some equal highs here, but this is consolidation, even on the 4 hour. And so it looks like US 30 is buying up, but it's literally in the middle of the consolidation. I need more information. I don't even have to drop down to the lower time frame because I wouldn't be taking anything. All right, another head and shoulders. So with these clean highs being up here and with this head and shoulders pattern forming, you don't know which one is going to go for it first. You don't know if it's going to go for the head or if it's going to go for the highs. I am bearish on US 30, so I will be looking for sales. But yeah, I will call a no trade on this. Need more information. All right, now let's go ahead and look at AU. All right, got something set up. All right, so like EU, because AU, right, the Australian dollar comes before the United States dollar, so any strength is going to cause weakness in AU. So a clear area that I see, I really like the mitigation zone that's already here. I would like to see a sell from this area, possible buy. And so we have a previous mitigation zone over here that it looks like we're reacting off of now. I don't even know how I did that. I don't know how I just zoomed in on my screen. But yeah, Tish, I'm expecting a sell. So we coming from a mitigation area. This is on the 4 hour. Man, I can't I don't know what happened to my screen. Sorry, y'all. I can't even change the time frame. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure out what just happened with my screen using this pad. I done did something that I didn't even know I could do, like zoomed in. I wish I could drop to the lower time frames, but Tish, on the lower time frame, drop down to like the hour and the 15 minute, because it looks like we coming from a previous mitigation area here. And so it may be an opportunity for a buy tonight, but I would wait on the sell. And I would like to sell from this purple area here. Right. Christine said my pad is cool. Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. My fingers is fingers is tired right now. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I'll once I find some batteries for my mouse, I'm gonna post those charts up on my page. But that pretty much wraps it up for Markup Mondays. We went over EU, we went over AU, we went over NAS, we went over US 30. I'll keep a record of that. We'll see how everything plays out. But you guys be safe as always. Be safe in the market. Practice proper risk management. Continue pounding away at the education, pounding away at learning. That's what it takes. It takes just persistence, being consistent with learning, being consistent with staying in the markets, getting through those frustrating times. And remember that the most important thing is not this strategy. The most important thing is you, your emotions, your risk management, making sure that you getting everything together, mastering yourself, because the strategy works. All right. But the strategy is not the end all be all. And it's not all that you need. You actually need to work on yourself. You need to work on things that you apply in real life, not just trading. Become a better person in real life, right? Become more patient, become more emotionally disciplined. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I always want to give some words of encouragement and things that help me. All right. But you guys enjoy the evening, or y'all get some rest. I will see you all in the chats on the charts, and for some of you, I'll see you next Monday. Remember, we'll be broadcasting from the Sniper Anonymous YouTube channel. But that wraps it up for this call, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This wouldn't be a call without you all. And I will see you in the chats on the charts. And remember to stay safe, but stay dangerous. Peace.